Hello everybody, welcome to Flight Simulator X, another Flight Simulator X video today. And today we're in the Southwest 737-700 new livery, texture going by Goldstar textures. Link will be in the description, of course. And as you can see up there, there's a little bar with Captain, and I'll show you what that's all about once I hop in. Alright, so the surprise is we have FS2 crew installed for this flight today. I've been playing around with this a lot, actually. Been playing around with this a lot. I really like it. I like doing the procedures and trying to talk it out with somebody. I feel like it adds a lot more to the sim experience. Actually trying to run through the checklist as pilot flying. I like that. A lot better than sitting here and trying to program everything by yourself and run all the checklists. So today we are at John Wayne, Santa Ana, California, in Orange County. We're gonna wait right now for the GPS to come online so we can drop the GPS into here. Let's continue. We're gonna go we're going today from John Wayne over to San Jose, California, which is about 330 nautical mile point. I think that's what it's planned to be today as Southwest 2103. The departure, we're not going off of any runways, or we're not going off of any standard departure. But we are going off of two right. Wait, no. Come on, let me check. Well, let me. Not really sure which one's the active right now. I'm checking the weather right now. See which is the active runway for departure. You can never really know without ATC online. You can look at the winds, but you never know. Some airport ops that they go the other way, and they'll just land you with the tailwind. Go right. And we're going to be departing off of runway. Runway 20 right today with the wings. How that's all set up, and if we look at our legs, we're actually gonna plug this in. There's only one waypoint that will come in. I'm gonna plug this in, but it's my rule. What did it say? 01. There you go. Southwest 2103. Here we go. Departure is off the runway 20 right. Let's look at our legs. Yep, RZS, and then our arrival should. What is it? That's the wrong button. Alright. So our arrival SID today. Gonna be going.
I'm out for the walk around.
We're gonna go ILS 30 left and we'll work out the arrival once we get into the air. Let me check on that. Where our arrival is into San Jose. We'll check that out right now. There it is. Alright. We'll check on that just in a second. First off, slow it down. But we'll just go ahead, activate, and execute that. Performance initialization, 0 fuel weight. For FAR reserves, is 3.5. So it's telling me Southwest cost index is 36. Our cruising altitude, I'll have to check it out in PMDG. Our cruising altitude is going to be once it loads. We're going to go ahead and do a lights test while this is waiting. Those look good. Those autopilot lights look good. These look great. Great. Alright. Sorry about the bad frame rates here. This freeware scenery, it kills frames. So let me just check what we're doing here. We're going Robbie 3 arrival, and our cruising altitude. Cruising altitude today is flight level 380. Flight level 380. Cool. There we go. 380. Let's get that. That's good. We are not going to do a D-rate today. There's a very good reason for that. Santa Ana, California, John Wayne, if you've never heard of it, actually has, I don't even know how this works on daily operations, from a daily operations standpoint, but it has a terrible runway. 5,700 feet, noise abatement departure procedures all the way around. Just terrible. And we actually, and so for you guys, John Wayne, you have to climb at ridiculous vertical speed to get out of noise abatement. So that's pretty much about it. We're taking a fully loaded plane out here today, too, so we're going to have to do flaps 15. We'll set the trim right now to 4.89. Alright. So right now, we're just going to wait for the IRS to align, which, let's check actually how long it's saying we got on. It's actually saying we got 1 minute for alignment, which is kind of hard to believe. But we're going to go into position init, and we're going to set the IRS position so when this loads in, so when it's finished, it'll know where we are, and it can just initialize it for that. Climb. Good. Let's just look at the legs. Maybe just go. Move up. Let's make sure that the level is selected. ILS 30 left. That's correct due to the winds. It's come directly in. Have much to it. Let's look at the estimated, no estimated time since IRS is not aligned, but we'll set it in a second. Let's go initial reference N1, takeoff 125. Flight director, pilot throttle. Flight director. Since we don't have online ATC, I'm just going to go ahead and set it up to flight level 380 because we don't have any ATC online, so I will not be heading directly up. So that's pretty good. I would be doing this fly on bat sim. I have been flying on bat sim a lot lately. The reason why I'm not doing it on bat sim with a live controller is because, well, first off, there isn't any on. That's pretty much the only reason. So let's go into plan mode. So we're going to hit cruise right after RZS WR. We're going to hit it, and then we're going to be pretty much going straight down, right into an approach. Got the weird start.
I'm back from the walk around. Everything looks good.
And he's back from his walk around. And then we do straight in approach. I like it. That's a straight approach. We'll go back to the init ref page. We're going to take off. Where's no pass?
Hey, Captain. The agents want to start sending people out. Can we start boarding?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let them know.
Alright, we're going to request boarding now. Open up some doors. I'm going to do it on his FMC since I already have everything set up how I would like it. There we go. And if we look outside, the Southwest boys are started loading up the aircraft. The 737-700, which is Southwest new livery by Goldstar Textures. You can like them on Facebook. Do some brilliant work. Like right here. I think that's my fault for the checklist on top of the checklist. It's not their fault. But like all of this custom yoke right here, custom yoke textures, right here, which restriction required we reference the flight ops manuals. Use of Wi-Fi devices. You just don't get this from PMDG, like stock liveries. You just don't get it. Sorry about the little stutter that the FS crew is causing. I don't know what causes that. Maybe graphical tweaks, settings, concept. But I'm not going to be, once we're in flight, I'm not going to be moving around as much. I'm trying to get the aircraft pre-flighted. Right now, the FO is doing his pre-flight inspections, where he's setting up pressurization of the aircraft going up to flight 380, 38,000 feet. While he's setting that up, we just kind of hang out here since we're the pilot flying. He's the first officer. He has his duties. I have my duties. And so I check the oxygen. That's in the clothes. That's in the crew. We usually test right around this time. We usually test the takeoff one. There it is. Good. He's testing the fire detection. He's testing everything on that side. My responsibility is to set a squawk code and request clearance, which I would do if we had a control online. Let's go with radio frequency right now. There we go. Alright, and we would just go radio frequency. We'll switch over to the column. And we are not on the bad sim network currently. He's testing his oxygen. But, you know, still good to have that too. Keeping a good practice. Oh! Did not mention. The scenery you see here is Freeware. His Latin VFR has not released their Hayware John Wayne. Very quality Freeware, I must admit. Not as good as Sun Sky Jets, K Philadelphia. I'll try to find a link in the description for this scenery. It's actually really correct. Like
Glide slow.
Fantastic.
Pull up.
But I've been to John
Wind shear.
4 times,
Wind shear.
4 or 5 times.
Wind
and
shear.
This
Terrain.
is
Terrain.
pretty much
Pull
on
up.
spot, on par. I
Sink
wish
rate.
that the
Pull up.
terminal textures
Terrain.
were a little better.
Pull
But
up.
it's Freeware.
Don't
They
sink.
did.
Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Glide slope. Bank angle. Bank angle. Minimums. 500. 400. 300. 200. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Too low. Terrain. Caution. Terrain. 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 Pull up.
No, let's just check the weather. Oh, an active sky. What we're looking at right here. At just hit the microphone. Checking out in San Jose what we're looking for. 16 degrees Celsius, which I'm not going to do the conversion right now. 3021 altimeter, 10-mile visibility, no precipitation. It's overcast. That's what we're looking at.
TCAS test pass.
Boarding is completed. We're going to go ahead and shut the doors. so GSX won't complain to us about the doors being open. What am I even doing? Sections, doors, closed door, closed door, closed door, closed door. There you go. I actually do like Southwest's new livery. I think it's pretty nice. Should complete his pre-flight. He's just going through the FMC right now, checking out my work, and then we'll run through the pre-flight checklist, and then I can start the briefing, really speed it up, and get done. Get this bad boy in the air and down to, or well, up to San Jose.
I'm ready for the checklist.
Pre-flight checklist.
Oxygen.
Tested. Checked.
Instrument transfer and display switches.
Set.
Window heat.
On.
Pressurization mode
Auto.
selector. Flight instruments.
Set.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Pre-flight checklist complete.
Just had to turn down the audio. Let's start the briefing here. We're going to go flaps 15, departure procedure. We'll just say SID, North Bay departure procedure 2.
Are you ready for the departure brief?
I'm ready for the brief.
Okay, we have no MEL issues today. I'll be the pilot flying. It'll be a standard takeoff. We'll be using noise abatement departure procedure 2. The departure will be an ATC assigned SID. We'll use flaps 15 for takeoff. Runway condition is dry. As for anti-ice, it's not required. Engine blades will be on. Regarding the takeoff brief, from brake release to 80 knots, I'll abandon the takeoff for any vital malfunction called by any flight deck crew member current, present, and awake. I'll call reject, confirm the auto brakes are operating and the speed brakes are deployed. If the auto brakes are not working, I'll apply maximum manual braking and maximum symmetrical reverse thrust and bring the aircraft to a complete stop on the runway. After the full stop on the runway, we will make a decision on any further actions. From 80 knots to V1, I'll only reject for 3 reasons: engine fire, engine failure, or a takeoff configuration warning horn. At and above V1, we'll bring the aircraft into the air. The only actions I need from you below 400 feet are for you to silence the bells and confirm the failures. Above 400 feet, I'll call for the failure action drills as required, and you'll perform the memory items. At 800 feet above field elevation, I'll call for altitude hold and retract the flaps on schedule while going to maximum continuous thrust on the operating engine. Passing through 1,500 feet, I'll call for the checklist. If we're above the maximum landing weight, we'll make a decision to perform an overweight landing as the situation requires. For wheel well, engine, or wing fire, after landing, I will turn the aircraft in such a way that the flames will be on the downwind side and will evacuate on the upwind side. For any cargo fire, make sure the emergency services do not open the cargo doors until the evacuation is complete. Any questions?
No questions.
Departure brief complete.
Hi, Captain. Passenger boarding is complete, and I've got the load sheet here for you when you're ready.
Okay, thanks.
Have a safe flight.
Select APU. APU on. Sorry about this, everybody. I've been flying the PMDG 777, and the phraseology is a little different. Select APU on. What is the command? APU on. Alright, I may have to do this manually. Start the APU.
Starting APU.
There we go. Because in the PMDG 777 FS crew, it's APU on. That's what you say. So we've got our briefing complete. We're pretty much ready to go. So I'm just going to fast forward through these next 7 minutes. The FS to crew. We're just going to mute this real quick. Wait till the APU is online. And once it's online, we'll maybe be able to do something. Kind of weird that it's not moving. We'll hit the bleeds. Huh. We're gonna restart it ourselves to see why it's not moving like that, which is weird. I've never seen this happen before. Whoa, 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 there we go. We got the low oil pressure sign. DGT should rise and it should go away. The low oil pressure is not going away. Kind of weird. There it is. There's DGT. Alright, we're back in business. That's kind of weird how the oil pressure was not going up, but hey, sometimes that happens. We have, when you try to start it before, you didn't have the bleeds on. I wonder if that has something to do with it, the APU bleed. Probably, but you never know with these things. Hit the service interphone on. We're gonna set this to bus. We're gonna call it ground. Cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect external power.
Roger that, Captain.
Is that over? I want to hear the markers. Wait, there it is. I like hearing the markers.
Okay, the GPU has been disconnected.
Alright.
Alright guys, everyone's seated. We're all buttoned up and ready to go in the back.
Okay, thanks.
If you need anything, just let me know.
I think everything's looking good outside. Before start procedure.
Check. I'm ready for the
Before
checklist.
start checklist.
Flight deck door.
Checked.
Fuel.
Set.
Passenger signs.
On.
Windows.
Checked.
Mode control panel.
Set.
Takeoff speeds.
Set.
CDU
Completed.
pre-flight. Rudder and aileron.
Set.
trim. Taxi and takeoff briefing.
Completed.
Anti-collision
On.
light. Before start checklist. Complete.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are ready for engine start.
Your walk around is complete and all doors and hatches are closed. You're cleared for engine start. Let me know when I can disconnect.
You are cleared to disconnect and go to hand signals.
Okay, everything looks good down here. Have a nice flight.
Now we just knocked off the ground crew, so we don't have to deal with them anymore. Now we deal with the GSX guys, which are freaking loud, so you might want to watch out for that. We're leaving on time. We're pushing back on the minute. That's always good. We'll mute that. There's our...
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
He did hit up the hydraulics. Good, good, good.
Locking gear. Departure check completed. Bypass push circuit. All engines clear. Start that wheel.
Start sequence is 2 then 1.
Check.
Start engine 2.
Starting number 2.
We're looking for 25 on the N2. And there we go. Little pause you saw there, that was fuel going in. That's fuel flow being simulated. Just make sure that these guys aren't screwing with us. Alright, where's the wing walker? Where did he? Oh, there he is. He's in the little blind spot. Starter cut out.
Starter cut
Start
out.
engine 1.
Starting number 1.
We're looking for 20. There it is.
Set parking brakes.
Starter cut out.
Flaps 15.
Check.
Unlocking gear. Tow truck disconnected. Bypass main removed.
Hit the terrain on. Don't even know where they went. Oh, they're
Takeoff flaps set.
already gone.
I'm ready for the checklist.
Before taxi checklist.
Generators.
On.
Left is clear.
On.
Right is clear.
NS.
Off.
Isolation
Auto.
valves. Engine start switches.
Continuous.
Recall.
Check.
Auto brake.
Set.
Engine start.
Idle
motors.
D10.
Flight controls.
Check.
Ground equipment.
Clear.
Before taxi checklist complete.
Clear on the left.
We're clear on the right.
And as we start our taxi out of beautiful Santa Ana, California. We're a heavy bird today. I can feel it. We're at 93% load factor coming out of John Wayne. This is suicidal. We may die. But hey. At least you died. Well, I guess there's no silver lining there. But we're taxiing out. We're going to wait for the flight attendant's call before we enter the runway. Before takeoff checklist.
Flaps.
Flaps 15, green light.
Stabilizer trim.
Set.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Now we wait.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
So we're not going to take off on the nearest runway to us. That's only a 2,000-foot runway, and that's used for general aviation. We're actually going to get over. We're actually going to go over one more. We're 20 right. Got the runway right. It's kind of weird how much force it's taking for us to taxi, but I guess we're pretty heavy today. I think we're pretty much a sellout in the back, which is pretty much every Southwest flight ever. There's the ding.
Yes. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin's secure.
Runway entry procedure.
Check.
Crossing over the GA runway.
Ready to go.
Once we hit the threshold, we'll hit the clocks and we'll clock it. Clocks. Once we line up and we're in a position, we'll set the parking brake and we'll run up the engines. Well, actually, we'll hold the brakes. We won't set the parking brake. We'll just hold them. There's the runway. All right. Take off.
Check.
Percent. Let him stabilize. Toga.
Check.
There we go. All right, let's go. Now you hear the whine.
Thrust set.
Check.
80
Check.
knots.
V1.
Rotate.
Now we really yank back that throttle and we really get out of here.
Positive.
Gear
right.
up.
Gear up. Gear up, lights out.
Yep, now we really get the incline going. This is where the 57 ranks supreme. Okay, alright. Select Command A.
Command A.
Select LNAV.
LNAV.
Select VNAV.
VNAV.
Flaps 10.
Flaps 10.
Pretty successful takeoff, I think. Mute him. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Flaps up.
Flaps up. I'm ready for the checklist.
After takeoff, checklist.
Engine bleeds. On. Packs. Auto. Landing gear. Up and off. Flaps. Up, no lights. After takeoff checklist. Complete.
Audio is recording. Alright, good. I saw in the reports that we may get a few bumps coming out of here. Nothing major though. We're coming out of the cloud layer now. We were going to hit that many bumps we would hit in that cloud or right about now, but looks like we're home free. Sorry about the bad frames here. Let me find what's causing it. Right about... Right... Where is it? It's like right dead ahead. It's FS Dream Team's KSNA-KSJC, Los Angeles. It kills frames. Eats them for dinner. $10,000.
10,000.
We're actually gonna keep that on, not let him mess with that. I hate how he messes with it. Now we slow down and speed up. Well, what did I say? Now we level out and speed up. The San Jose scenery, it's gonna be default, but it's gonna be surrounded by Orbix, NorCal. Just had like a mini crash there. That was weird because you look down. Here, this is where this retard is. There he is. FS Dream Team's KSNA-KSJC. Probably should have disabled it, but I didn't. If anybody has a new recorder, like Fraps, I don't know, it just eats frames and I really don't like it. Like, I should be getting about 35 frames in the cockpit right now. That brings me down so much. There's the turbulence that was forecasted. See if we can see any wing flex out of the cockpit. Yep.
Transition altitude. Altimeters 2992.
You see why I kept the seatbelt sign on. Whoa, this is a little bouncy. I don't know if I like this. Now that we're past FS Dream Team's KSNA-KSJC, we should be a lot smoother on the way out to San Jose. But we do have, what's the scenery? Flight, I think it's flight beam. KSFO. So that may kill frames too. I just picked a great place to fly, and we're going to overfly Orbix Monterey, which I debated flying to, but I chose. I'd rather do a real world flight than do a fake one. And I found this beautiful repaint. Yeah, I was like, let's go. Let's record. I think we just popped out of it. We're just going to probably keep the seatbelt sign on the whole flight. I mean, it's a pretty short flight. May hit a cruise, but it'll only be on for a short time. only be off for a short time. $257 on the radio is our minimum today in San Jose. 257. We'll set that once we get up to cruise. Let's just admire the beauty of this aircraft. Beautiful repaint. Beautiful. And DC ARTCC is holding their event right now. What is it? It's a DCA fly-in, Reagan. I may take off from there or fly in there tonight. It's already 7:30. I don't know. I may. You never know. That's a game time decision. Also purchased the Quality Wings 757. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'd really think. I mean, it was only like $25, but still, I mean, like, I don't know if this is just a bug with my version personally, but I can't go into plan mode. Like, that hurts. That hurts on Batson. It's like on Batson, like, you have to know what you're going to do. You can't just say, oh, I'm 160 miles out. Let's see what my star looks like. Like, you need that plan mode, which, and also another thing in development choice, which I thought was weird. I don't know if it's just the software being like, what, 3 years old? I have no idea how old it is. But you have to pop up the 2D panels. So for me to punch anything into FMC, I have to do that. For me to punch anything into the radios, I have to do that. It's kind of, I don't know, it feels like something that came out like FS 2002. Or like I could see the level D 767 doing that. It doesn't even do it. With the Quality Wings 757, which isn't a port. There was some development for FSX. It does that, which I think is weird. I think that was a port as a development choice, which I hope that they do. I haven't bought their Quality Wings, their Bay 146 Avro series. I haven't bought it. I don't know. It's like they're doing a 787 right now, which, I mean, it's on the verge of being like a ghost product. I mean, they've been working on it for a while, and they haven't even. Oh yeah. Like, I've heard that it's an officially licensed Boeing product, which, I don't know, which that gives me hope that it's actually a complex aircraft. But you never know. You never know with Quality Wings. It's like with PMDG, when you buy their products, you know what you're getting. You know, you're getting a study sim, high fidelity, that you know what you're getting. It's like with Quality Wings, I don't know if I really want to purchase their 787 because I don't know what I'm getting. I could be getting where you could switch from standard mode, which the IRSs align in 1 second, over to light mode where you hit a button and it starts itself. It's like a car. You turn the ignition. That's just my personal opinion. like, I could see why they're a lesser price point, but I mean, still, it's like I would rather buy an airport scenery and fly my PMDG 737 into the airport rather than buy an aircraft that I'll get burned out on because it's just too simple. Because I like getting into a cockpit and having to read the manual of what stuff does. I don't like me getting in the cockpit and be like, okay. And also, I guess, since I like the Level D 767, I fly that a fair amount. I know how to do it. I know the procedures. I have the checklist, all that stuff. That going to the 757, since they're both the same pretty much aircraft, except one's a wide body, one's a narrow body, and a couple of minor differences. That I don't know. That's just not very fun, I guess. I guess you could consider it. But that's why I think of quality ones. I don't really know what to think of it, but we'll see. We'll see. That's going to be a product that I'm probably going to have to wait for a review, or at least the first impressions. Like, if Frugal buys it, reviews it, and he says it's good, then I'll purchase it. Or another reputable YouTuber says that it's a good thing. But like, I've heard stuff about the Quality Wing 757. That brings me to another point. That they're like, the people defend the Quality Wing 757. I don't know, I just don't feel like, I feel like if, I don't know, it feels like the Milton Shoot -7 is more complex than that. It's just that I'm paying $25, not for systems, I'm paying $25 for a VC in the exterior model that could be compared to, not like a PMDG level, but a payware level system. I mean, at least it's not you're buying Abacus, but like with the Quality Wings 7, whoa, what is it doing? Quality Wings 757, I jumped in the cockpit, and I read the manual, and it had standard and light mode, and I thought I was in light mode when I got in the cockpit, which I wasn't. I thought I was in, like, which I guess some people want to just get in and not
1,000 to go.
Not go through the 30-minute setup process like we just did on the ground at Santa Ana, but at Orange County. But I mean, I like that. That's what I'm going to college for. So that's my personal opinion. That I'll be hard pressed to buy another Quality Wings add-on. I mean, sure, they're fun, but they're not. I just don't feel like I'm at 57 when I can just hit the IRSs, they're aligned in 10 seconds, sit there, program the FMC, and I'm done. Yeah, I'm ready to go. It just doesn't feel realistic. So, read on forums, AvSim forums about the PMDG secret project, which I hope is a 57 or 67, because Captain Sim, my God. I purchased like 3 Captain Sim products. Not one of them have worked correctly. Yeah, I mean, they're 37-200. It's just incomplete. Which, I mean, in this day and age, I know people like to do VOR navigation, old school, but I wish that there was an option to do that. But there was also an option to have an FMC and aftermarket mods to it, where you can fly it on VASSIM with AirAC updates from like Navigraph or something like that, like the Milviz Military Visualization 737-200, which I uninstalled, honestly. Like, it was great and all, but it had default APU startup. It had an FMC, which was updatable through Navigraph. It didn't have a VNav, which I've read, I guess that could be realistic. I'm not really sure. I'm not going to go bark up that tree, but I'll defend them there. But there was no liveries. Like, when I buy a product, I expect that there will be just some simple liveries out there of modern day operators of the 737-200, which there wasn't. There was one. There was a Aloha Air Cargo. That was the only one I could find, and that was like 1 out of 8 that I wanted. Like, I wanted Sierra Pacific, which they're a modern day operator, and they weren't on there. I wanted a bunch of add-ons. And none of them were, or not a bunch of liveries, but none of them were on there. None of them. So kind of angry about. Oh, that's nice. Alright, that's good. Alright, we're gonna just go ahead and run through the descent briefing with this guy. Minimums, let me just check them out on the phone. See where our minimums are off of AirNav. Minimums are 257 on the radio. Two 257. We'll just go level 2. Flaps 30. Radio is 257. There we go. Our approach type. Alright, I guess let's go ILS fail pass. Our approach type is a star. Runway is dry. Anti-ice is not required. Let me just make sure the runway is dry. Yes, it is. Alright.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be arriving by the ATC assigned star. As for the approach, we can expect an ILS approach into our destination. Landing runway condition is dry. Anti-ice is not required. Landing flap will be 30. Auto brake will use level 2. Engine blades will be on. Decision height will be 257 feet. Any questions?
No questions.
Approach brief complete.
There we go. I've also,
I'm ready for the checklist.
we'll run that checklist in a second. I've also been looking at X-Plane, which, you know, I've never been really, like, into X-Plane. I don't have it, I don't own it. But, I was actually looking at it, though, and it actually looks kind of appealing, surprisingly. Yeah, it looks kind of appealing. I don't know. I may try that out, but I just feel like I have so much invested in FSX that I don't really want to go over to explain the news, all this, I feel that X-Plane's really great. It's a great base, but what is it besides a base? Like, there's the Fly JSIM 732 twin jet. There's the Fly JSIM 727, and then I think it's Flight Factor 757. But past that, what is there? I guess I haven't seen enough videos. I know that Jeff Fabiano, he switched over to, well, he hasn't switched over completely. He still uses FSX, but he bought it. He liked it. He bought the Fly JSIM 737. Which I agree, it looks pretty good, but I think it's another case of Sperry 77 autopilot at the flyby VOR. Which some people, you know, they're into that. That's what they like, but I don't. I don't like it. It's like, I was watching this video of this IFL group, 727, which, if y'all know them, they're call signs Trans Auto. They carry auto parts for like Ford, and they're based out of Pontiac, Michigan, and they fly a fleet of 727s and Convair 580s, which, I mean, they're older than grandparents, but anyways, they had upgraded GPS on it, like I feel like that's more realistic. It's generally better to have that. But hey, that's just me. I feel like that is more realistic to have systems like that instead of going VOR to VOR. There's only one 737-200 in continental United States that I can think of that actually goes VOR to VOR. You can track it on their Sierra Pacific, either 712 or 703. They only have 2 aircraft, but they never change flight number. But it's off their registration. They go and jump around the country, do all these weird routes. There's weird stuff involved with them. I'm not even going to get into that. You can do some research on them. You'll ask more questions, and you may think that see a bunch of guys in black suits are going to bang on your door if you look into it anymore. But they actually fly VOR to VOR. They don't have any RNAV. They're /Z on their equipment suffix, which means nothing. Which I think is pretty crazy that they still fly that way. Like when they come out of Atlanta, they have to go wreck somewhere. They cannot follow a star because, a SID, a standard instrument departure, because they're all RNAV. So they just have to get out of everybody's way and go direct to a VOR, which they usually go direct to SPA, which is, I think it's up in Lawrenceville, or they go like Nashville direct. It depends on where they're going, or they go out to Birmingham just straight out, which I always think is pretty crazy. But yeah, they transport troops around, firefighters, and then they do some stuff that nobody seems really keen on talking about. Alright, let's see, set 4,000. We're on the descent checklist. Descent checklist.
Pressurization. Landing altitude 50 feet. Recall. Checked. Autobrake. Level 2. Landing data. VREF 130. Minimums 257 feet. Approach briefing. Completed. Descent checklist. Complete.
But they have some pretty weird stuff that they do. Like, I saw this one video of it, of Sierra Pacific. They landed their 737-200, which is all they own. They landed, sat on the ramp for the GA ramp, which GA is General Aviation, just like Cessnas and stuff, if y'all know. They sat there. It's not where commercial planes park, 99% of the time. They sat there, then they left 15 minutes later, didn't even shut off the engines. Nobody got off or gone on or off. They sat there and then they left and they went transcon or something. They went from like, so they came from Cherry Hill, North Carolina, which is a Marine base, and they went up to New Hampshire, landed for 15 minutes, took off and went to Tucson without anybody getting off, and it looked like from the video that there was nobody on board, which is weird. But hey, you can't blame them. And they don't even have a website, which is always good. So they may be /Z, but I very much doubt that they don't have RNAV. I bet they have some capabilities that they just don't want to tell anybody about, which is always great. Speaking of Captain Sim, I was actually working on the Captain Sim. I was trying to do an aftermarket and modification. I was trying to do INS because it's an incomplete bird. There's people who can just sit there. They can sit there for 2 hours and fly. Well, I can't usually do that. Honestly, I don't really want to sit there and switch VORs every 80 miles. And I mean the Captain Sim 730, well 727 I haven't even gotten in the air because the engines are glitched. But yeah, the engines are completely broken. But like this Captain Sim 737 200, when you take off, you can be fully loaded, I don't care, but you're hitting 5,000 on the vertical speed, which I do not know one 737-200 that can do that. I don't know where in Russia, I think they're based in Russia, wherever they got that performance data, that is wrong. And I had to go in, I had to change it, which I feel like when I'm paying, I don't even know how much I paid for it, I may have bought it on sale, but when I'm paying money for that, you should be able to do better than a Freeware aircraft. Just my personal opinion. You should actually have real performance data, which I don't know. Oh, and their whole ACE system, it doesn't even load. It doesn't load fuel, so you have to use the default, which is up here, aircraft, and then fuel and payload, which doesn't work which works, but it may crash your game because FSX menus are inherently unstable, which just always great. About to hit top of descent in here in about 30 miles. And then once in 112 miles, we're actually going to start the pretty much be on final. So we're going to do a straight shot in, which is beautiful. I love that. Love straight shots. I never dinged off the seatbelt. It doesn't matter. I don't want to ding it off now, because then everybody will get up to get bad. We'll just keep it on. Yeah, we'll keep terrain on. We'll just keep all this working. That looks good. Who are we on? QI? Alright. We're gonna start it set here pretty soon. Release. What a fun thing. Always fun to start the descent. Getting in. Getting in. forgot I had that on. Let's see. Yep, that's safety. Alright, good. Now we're gonna start a descent right about now. And gonna get down into San Jose. Gear down the ground, have a fun landing. Is it gonna be a crosswind? Over an hour. That is good. Where is the winds? No winds. None whatsoever. That's great. I love it. So it looks like we actually have a pretty interesting geologic. That's cool. Looks a lot cooler from there, where there's the little line thrown in right there. Wish they would put a weather radar into this, then my life would be complete. We're gonna start descent right now. We're in the top descent. Interesting fact about San Jose is that they actually have a service to Tokyo. I think it's Tokyo. It's on the pond, so it's most likely Tokyo. But I find that interesting that since it's like what I'm not really good with trip time in the Bay Area, but I have no idea. But I wouldn't think it would be that far. But hey, you never know. I guess it is pretty far. I guess it's far away enough for on the pond that they can have two services. One's a 787 daily, maybe like weekly. I have no idea, but maybe like 2 times a week. But you know. As we're 77 miles away from final. Localizer intercept, tune up the nav radio. We'll keep on the Indian ref 110.9. Alright, there we go. And our course is 303. 303. Alright. There we go. Alright. I have to do another flyby with this beautiful, beautiful aircraft. You never realize how fast you're actually going. Never realize it. I'm actually going to speed intervene. This, I think a 270 would be a good speed to keep, so we don't have to lose that much airspeed to get under and get in. I've actually, when I went to San Jose like 2 years ago, I actually saw this approach. There's an In-N-Out Burger on the left side of San Jose. So I ate at that. Yeah, I saw this approach. It was interesting. I remember the Southwest planes coming over the building, 737 700s, and there were a couple of 300s that came over. But, you know. That was actually my first ride on a 737 Classic that scored. Well, I mean, I'm counting that I can remember. You know, I was probably on some Southwest Classics, but I can't remember that though. So I was like 2. Yeah, I've been a Delta flyer ever since. I actually scored an Alaska flight from San Francisco to Seattle that we were originally scheduled. We were supposed to go on a flight from San Francisco over to Salt Lake City, which is, Delta, and then we're going to get a CRJ 700, I think it was a CRJ 700. Then we're going to get up to, we're going to move on up to Seattle from there. But they oversold the flight, and they were calling people, and they said that they would give us a voucher if we gave up our seats. And we asked, well, what would you give us? And they're like, well, there's an Alaska flight that leaves about 3 hours later, and we didn't know where we really need to get to Seattle anytime soon. The meeting was the next day, so we just headed down to San Francisco, saw some pretty cool planes, SFO, and lo and behold, beautiful Alaska 737-400 rolls up to the gate for the flight up to Seattle. It was great. Hope that Alaska doesn't get bought by anybody. I love Alaska Airlines. I want to get back on them. I've been on Alaska forever. Got a trip coming up. It's in April. It's over Easter. We're going over to Hong Kong. It's always going to be fun. We're going to be taking all non-Delta types. We're going to be going A380 to Seoul, 777-300 down to Hong Kong. And then we're taking a 747-400, which I think it may get rotated with 747-800, back up to Seoul, and then we're taking an A380 back to Atlanta. That's going to be fun. Hopefully we're going to be able to score a couple of flights up over to Vegas. May try to fly Spirit just to see if it's really as bad as people say it is, which I bet it is, but I like to. Let's get the weather. We'll punch it in to the altimeter. Oh, nope, that's the radio. There's the altimeter. What was the altimeter saying? 3021. 21. There we go. And we'll also click that over when you go to transition. So that'll be pretty fun. Some plane spotting. I have actually been debating whether or not to get like a camera to do some plane spotting over at Hartsfield. I don't know. Yes, it could be considered fun. Do that. I go over there a lot. But it'd be pretty fun to actually spot and actually record it. Well, take pictures. I don't know if I record, but I'll take pictures and upload them to like airliners.net or something like that. Be a photographer. We're just putting out speed brakes so we can catch back up to vertical this descent path right here. We may get a little bit below it, and then I'll put back in the speed brakes, and it'll be fine. Alright, we're just going to pump back off the speed brakes. We're continuing into San Jose. Sorry I keep on switching to outside view. I'm just looking at this texture. I'm like, wow. Got the little heart. There's that little heart on the bottom. That's perfect. Perfect. There'll definitely be a link to this texture in the description below. Okay, while I was outside, we vertical speed. We lost the vertical speed again, so we're gonna have to flip back out those speed brakes. Try to get down. I was going to originally do this flight with the Airbus, but I didn't want to fly in the SFO. I've done this route like 5 times. In the United 319 going up to SFO. I wanted to try out San Jose, and lo and behold, they do not operate that route in real life, and so Southwest was chosen. I know that it's getting a little boring with this, but I'll throw in the 777 or the 320, whatever. Well, 319. I haven't upgraded the 320 yet. Nobody wants to see that. I'm actually just gonna hold on to the speed brakes and keep them down. The little lag spike test, Orbix doing its thing. Loading in. There we go.
Transition level.
There's the altimeters, and we're all synced up. All synced up once again. I want to come in on approach speed about 220 knots. I think that's a pretty good approach speed. Since there's nobody in front of us, I've had on BatSim. I was coming in at 319 and maybe the 320. I think it was 320. Yeah, it was Virgin America. And I was coming in. This man, he calls me and he's like, "Slow down to your slowest approach speed." There's a twin otter in front of me going about 80 knots, and I was going about 220 while I turned the corner. And it's great. Alright, let off speed brakes. Not really sure how far. I think Gilroy's still 25 miles, like 20 miles out, so we don't even need to be slowed down to complete approach speed. We'll hit the decel, and then we'll start slowing it. But slowing down into San Jose. Probably the beautiful downtown approach. We'll pass over downtown San Jose, and we'll pull it out on the left. As we're coming in. If you have any suggestions for new recording software other than Fraps, because Fraps sucks, I mean, you can put that in the description. Approach checklist.
Altimeters 3, 0, 2, 1.
Set.
Approach checklist complete.
I'm actually just hopping out and show you guys this Orbix scenery. This is actually, further away from the clouds, this is actually Northern California scenery. I think that we're in the Northern California region. But we should be. Where we're going to be very shortly. Next flight, probably going to be into Palm Springs, maybe a Sun Country or something like that. From Minneapolis, or a charter from somewhere. I want to show off that Orbix scenery. That is beautiful. Beautiful scenery. Yeah, we're in Orbix, Northern California. Let's yank out those speed brakes once again. With flying the 737, the PMDG 737, I've noticed that really just a balance. You have to fight it. Like, it's like with the Airbus, when you get on the fit on forgetting the name of it. Yeah, whatever that is. That once you get on it, you're pretty much on it, and they only have do a flyby. And they only have about 3 seconds, or no, 4 flaps. What am I even talking about? So you only have to do it 4 times. Now, for me to get to flaps 30, I have to slow down one, or I drop the speed really low and I'm almost at a stall. And so 737, it's always an interesting thing, especially the 800 I've noticed slows down a little bit better. You can get it in a little bit better, but the 700, since I have no idea why, but it's hard to get in. And we're on altitude hold, 10,000. Altitude hold. We're gonna slow it down to 240. Thought the VNAV would stop me, but yeah. Yes, not.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Continue on. B now. Flaps 1. No, we're not going to do flaps 1 yet. Still a little too far out. How far are we from the airport? 35 miles. Probably about 25 I'll start putting the flaps down. Actually about 30. That sounds reasonable. Yeah, we'll just hold it. We'll play it by ear. Sorry about that. That is a bad habit of mine, is going to external view when we should be marking systems. Flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
There's some flaps.
Cabin crew, take your seats.
Just ignore the announcements. I'll really like the announcements. Alright, so we're slowing down. We're going to be at 225, and then we'll hit the localizer at 225. We'll hit the glide slope and localizer. We'll slow down on that. We don't have anybody in front of us or behind us because there's no AI and there's no there's just no traffic in general. I wanted to look at that neighborhood actually. Wow, this is really great scenery. I love Orbix. But since there's nobody in front of us or behind us, we can really control our speed on how we want to own it. We own our speed, not like ATC. Yep. We really have executive control over the speed, which is always fun. Wow. So I'm really thick right there. Alright, well, we're going to stay on the carpet now for the rest of the time being. 51 minutes, not bad at all. At all. Though we're actually turning on the final. We're 27 miles from it. We're gonna just drop it. Flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
I'm gonna drop it on 215. We'll just keep it at 215. Arm approach.
Approach. Localizer alive.
Check. I've never actually flown to San Jose. I've flown out of it, but I've never flown into it. It's actually kind of a cool approach. I like the scenic. I wish that there was some good scenery as well. I didn't really investigate that much. I'm gonna go check and see if there's any good sceneries for this, because I like this. And I can actually fly like a 777 into here and be Anna on the pond.
Check. Yes. Okay, thanks. Captain, the cabin's secure.
I think that this localizer is offset a little bit. Not a problem, but
Glide slope alive. 1,000 to go.
we'll fly with this down. Actually makes it kind of easier. Set speed 190. Set speed 190. Once we're 13 miles out, I will drop the gear. This is interesting. Once it says that we're 13 miles out on the heads-up guidance system, I was looking, they're both showing different numbers, which always, that's interesting. I've never seen that before. Continuing it on in. On the glide slope, actually like it. Set altitude 3,000.
Altitude 3,000. Set.
We're just gonna go by the SID, or the approach. Sorry, it's tired. It's late. We're just gonna go by that because I don't know. It's kind of weird. This approach, I don't know if I really like it. But showing that we're 12 miles away, we're just going to go ahead and drop the gear. Gear down. Gear down.
Gear down.
Control reference. Set speed 134.
Speed 134. Set.
Flaps 20. Flaps 25.
Flaps 25.
Let's go ahead and check speed brakes on right. Flaps 30.
Flaps 30.
Landing checklist.
Engine stars.
Continuous.
Speed.
Armed.
Landing gear.
Down.
Flaps.
Flaps 30 green light.
Landing checklist complete.
Speaking of flaps 30 green light, that's a great Facebook page. It's a Quant's Pilot. He does a blog, and it's beautiful. I want to actually let the computer fly a little bit longer, autopilot fly, because if you look right here, I don't really want to pop it off autopilot with winds like that. Just yet. There's a single channel. Oh, I'm not going to mute him, actually. I want to be quiet now. My airplane. Oh.
2,500.
No, there's San Jose off to your right. That's San Jose. Downtown. Whoa, doggy. Alright. I want to take control of the throttles. My throttles. Get this thing up. What? Okay, there's just a red light there. We're going for the runway that I'm lining up for. That's weird. Yep, this is exactly what it looks like. Outer marker.
1628 feet.
You can stop at the whole hour marker crap. Starting annually. There you go. Checked. Someone's reminded me of San Diego. Give me some rudder, try to combat that. Not that much rudder, but alright. Let's try to get up a little bit.
500 feet.
Checked.
Approaching minimums.
Continue.
Minimums. Check.
Light slope. Light slope. Light slope. Light slope.
There we go. Got it.
Speed brakes up. Reverse green.
$70 knots. Manual braking. Manual braking.
60 knots. Check.
Roll off at the next one. Okay to clean up.
Check.
$101 from threshold to threshold. Not bad. Not bad at all. We made it. Right. We're crossing the runway. Clear. Looking clear. Let me select a gate. Parking. Okay. I guess none of these are recognized as gates.
APU is online.
Well, that's interesting. No. That's interesting. Eliminate the master caution. We're just gonna have to pull in. GSX is gonna be of no help whatsoever. Okay, you win some, you lose some. That was a good landing. 250 on the vertical speed vibe. When we touched down, looked pretty good. Don't want brown blind the ground crew. We're rolling in.
Check.
Let's see. That looks just right. Alright, let's hit. There we go. He'll do his little shutdown.
Cabin crew, disarm slides. I'm ready for shutdown.
Shutdown checklist.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Are you sure about that? Probe heat.
Oh. I just forgot part of the procedure. There he goes. Cabin crew, doors may be open. Restart the checklist.
Okay.
Shut down checklist.
Fuel pumps.
Off.
Probe heat.
Off.
Hydraulic panel.
Off. Set.
Flaps.
Up.
Parking brake.
Set.
Engine start levers.
Cut off.
Weather radar.
Off.
Shutdown checklist complete.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please connect external power. Oh yeah, I have to remember this. I have to connect it myself. This actions. Oh wait, nope. Ground connections. Ground power is set. And air conditioning unit is set. Secure the aircraft, please.
Stand by. I'm ready for the checklist.
Securing the aircraft checklist.
IRSs off. Emergency exit lights off. Window heat off. Packs off. Securing aircraft checklist complete.
And that is how you bring a 737 from John Wayne, Orange County, up to San Jose, inter-California flight. I'd like to thank you guys for watching this whole thing, if you stayed all the way through. I thank you guys, and we'd like to see you on board next time. We'll see ya.